What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Bluff City here, back with another one. I got an update from the death of the Delta State student that, story went viral a couple days ago. Now, according to this right here, this is what they're saying. Death of Black's Delta State student found hanging from a tree ruled self-deletion, medical examiner. Now, I'm not saying I 100% believe this, but this is just what's being reported. I'm just going to leave it at that. Y'all can draw your own conclusion as I'm reading this to you. And before I get into this, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that link in my description for my link tree so you can follow me on all social medias. That being said, let's get into this. Cleveland, Mississippi. The Martavian Trey Reed, the student whose body was found hanging from a tree at Delta State University in Mississippi, died by self-deletion, according to autopsy findings released Thursday. Police said final toxicology results are pending and may take 2 to 4 weeks to complete. As a part of the investigation, police said all files and investigative material have been turned over to the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the U.S. Attorney's Office for review. Our thoughts and prayers remain with Reed's family and friends during this very difficult time. We want to encourage anyone who is struggling to reach out for help, said Cleveland Police Chief. Now, if without a shadow of a doubt this is a case of him just taking himself out, then that does suck. Whether it was by him doing this himself or someone else taking his life, either way, it absolutely sucks that this young man only got to live for 21 years and not get to see what the rest of his life had for him. Oh man. Reed, a 21-year-old first-year student from Grandin, Mississippi, was found around 7:30 a.m. on September 15th hanging from a tree near the pickleball courts of Delta State. The county coroner's office arrived about 30 minutes later and pronounced Reed dead. There he is right there. Based on the preliminary examination, we can confirm that the deceased did not suffer any lacerations, contusions, compound fractures, broken bones, or injuries consistent with an assault. Okay, so he never did break any bones. Those were all fabricated because that's what was being thrown around when this story first got out. If you've watched my previous videos, that's what I said. As they would say, as they said, he had broken bones. The coroner's office said in a statement released Tuesday, at this time, there is no evidence to suggest the individual was physically attacked before his death. Delta State officials said Monday there is no evidence suggesting any foul play in Reed's death and no threat to the campus. They are continuing to investigate. U.S. Representative Benny Thompson has called the U.S. Department of Justice and the FBI to launch an investigation into Reed's death. Yeah, they should keep investigating this without question. I do agree with that. Reed's family has retained attorney Ben Crump, and they have called for an independent autopsy on Wednesday. Crump called for all video in the investigation of Reed's death to be shown to his family. Oh, I agree, as it should be. During the news conference with authorities on Wednesday, officials said they're investigating the video that primarily findings suggest no evidence, no foul play. Delta State officials said counselors and support services remain available to students through the O.W. Riley Counseling Center and to faculty and staff through the Human Resources Department. So they're standing on what they said earlier with the no foul play thing, which I figured they would do that. But they should. I think the family is smart for doing independent investigation on this, just in case that they're trying to hide something that they don't want the general public to see. Which I don't blame the family for that one bit. They want to know the truth for sure, because something like this happening, it could be someone did this to him. But if they're private investigators, fine, take a look at everything from the top all the way to the bottom, and they figure, hey, there's really is no foul play here. Chances are he really did this to himself. Then apparently he did this to himself, in which leads to what I was asking when I originally reported on this, which is, did anyone in his peers, anyone in his family know that if he was, if he really did, take himself out, did anyone know that he was having any mental issues? Was he going through something so bad that it made him have thoughts of taking his own life? That's what I personally wonder. Because if not, because sometimes people will do a good job at hiding these things, and they try to hide it behind smiles and laughter and things like that. It does happen. That is a possibility. Excuse me. It's just really, it's just really sad that, especially in a state like Mississippi and in the South in general, the idea of a lynching is pretty wild, especially in today's time. I mean, I'm not saying it just absolutely does not happen ever anymore, but it shouldn't even be. It shouldn't. There's something like this just shouldn't happen in the first place. That's what I'm trying to say. Or in today's time in 2025. I mean, this isn't the time where segregation was still a thing, and then there was still a lot of tension between whites and blacks. It's just not like that anymore. At to a, nowhere near close. No, it's nothing close to what it was back in the day. I mean, hell, my grandmother lived through those times, and even she said the same thing. I mean, she's in her mid 80s, so she would know, and I trust her word on that. But I really do hope that the family gets the answers they're really looking for, because okay, you know, county police and investigators, okay, they said there's no foul play, but shout out to the family for taking this into their own hands and just being like, okay, let us get some private investigators that we pay for ourselves to take a look at everything to make sure that nothing is being hidden. And God forbid, I hope it doesn't result of that, because if the county is hiding something, that's really going to make them look bad, especially when this story got nationwide attention. So yeah. And with that being said, I'm gonna end the video right there. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end. Also, don't forget to hit the link in my description to my link tree so you can support me on all social media platforms that I'm on, as well as support me directly via Cash App or PayPal. If you choose to do so, thank you. I really do appreciate it. And I will shout you out in my next video if you choose to do so. And that right there is a promise. And with that being said, thank you for watching. Y'all have a good day. Be safe out there. And please, please, please check on your loved ones.